Hello everybody, this is Tip-Top MTG here today with another Magic the Gathering video. In today's video, we are going to be looking at some custom Magic the Gathering cards. Now, you may be asking yourself, why? Well, my favorite part of Magic is looking at spoilers, and, why not always look at spoilers? Every Sunday, I try and post a video relating to custom Magic the Gathering, whether it's my Magic the Marveling series or fun games that I do where I try to make custom mechanics or cards. So those will happen on Sunday, and so today, I'm going to be breaking down 10 custom cards from the r/custom magic subreddit. Now, in the last video, I kind of just pulled the top 10 from the week, and in this video, I pulled the top 10 that weren't commanders. So this will be a bunch of cards that are not going to fit in your command zone, because a lot of the cards from last time were commanders, and so this video is going to be specifically not commanders. So why don't we just jump right into this? We have Burning Whale. Also, you can see who made the card, their Reddit username in the upper left-hand corner. All credit obviously goes to them. So we have Burning Whale. It's a 1-cost instant. It says the next time a red spell or permanent you control would deal damage this turn, that spell deals that much damage plus 3 instead. Okay. I like the card. I think it's a cool idea. It's an interesting idea for a burn deck where maybe the spell itself doesn't burn something, but you're getting a pretty good rate for if you have another burn spell to combo with it. Now, in these videos, I'm not only going to tell you my thoughts on the effect and the power level, but also some issues I see with the cards. For instance, the wording on this is a little off. The next time a red spell or permanent you control would deal damage, that spell deals that much damage plus 3. The first part references a permanent, and now it's just saying that spell deals, which means that the permanent doesn't do anything. So, a little wording thing. It could be that source or that target or targeted source deals that much damage. I don't know. Something along that line would probably be better worded. But there's something off about it. But I like the general idea of the effect. It's something that you might not see as, oh, this is super powerful, but can sneak in there and be a cool combat trick as well for red. Next we have Marvelous Ruin. We have Marvelous Ruin is who created it. It's Penguin Migration. It's a 2-cost snow enchantment. And it says snow lands are all basic land types in addition to their other types. So we've seen this effect on things like Chromatic Lantern and Dryad of the Ilson Grove. Both cards that just kind of make it so all your lands tap for all types, except this one cares specifically about basic snow lands. Or I guess not basic snow lands, but just snow lands, which gives you some synergy within snow decks. And then you can pay Wooburg and it create 2 1/1 green bird snow creature tokens. And obviously these are meant to be penguins. Very cool card that I could see myself throwing in a 5-color commander deck. I feel like a lot of these custom cards I view from a commander perspective due to the fact that, when you think about, oh, what am I going to use custom cards in, I think of commander. I don't see myself going to play modern and, being fine using custom cards, but it can be fun to play commander with some custom cards. And, some of the more fun and not as super, powerful cards, those are going to see more of an impact in formats like Commander. So let's move on to Relentless Jailer. It's a 4-cost creature, creature zombie soldier, 2/2. And when it enters the battlefield, exile target creature an opponent controls until it leaves the battlefield. So an exile effect. And then it has unearth, 1 and a white, and it basically says pay 1 and a white. Return this card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains haste, exile at the beginning of the next end step, or if it would leave the battlefield. Unearth only as a sorcery. So the idea here is that you're going to first play it, and it's going to be an exile effect. Then you can play it for its unearth cost from your graveyard, and it'll be a flicker effect. So if you want to flicker something until end of turn, you can do that with Relentless Jailer, it gives you lots of variety. It lets you kind of just flash back this creature for another effect. I actually think this is a very awesome synergy and feels like a card that they would have actually printed. And those are always my favorite cards to review. I could actually see them printing this in Zendikar Rising. So that's pretty cool. Next we have Commander's Ring. This is a 1-cost artifact. It says tap, add 1 mana of any color, spend this mana only to cast a commander spell. So this is interesting. It's a, I don't want to say it's obviously not as great as Soul Ring, but it creates colored mana that can be spent to cast commander spells. Now, a nitpick, once you cast your commander, this kind of becomes useless unless your commander cares about artifacts. I could see throwing this in an Urza deck. But you also have to think about, if your deck just needs to get out their commander as fast as possible, if you're playing a Joda deck that just needs to get its commander out ASAP, but even a Joda deck, you need to get up to 5 mana to use it, like a Gisrath deck, Gisrath? The dinosaur that like has vigilance and all that. This might be super useful in that. So it depends on the deck. I don't think this would be an auto include if this were to be printed, but I think it's a fun little card. Next, we have Heart of the Bayou. It's a black or green. It's an artifact that says pay 1, tap, add black or green. So it lets you turn colorless mana into colored mana. And then you can put a growth counter on Heart of the Bayou. Then, if there are 3 or more growth counters on Heart of the Bayou, remove all growth counters and transform it. So Bayou is one of the old lands that were dual lands that just never entered the battlefield tapped. And it counted as both the land type. So basically this is a bayou, but it doesn't start as a bayou, it starts as an artifact. So I actually really like this. It allows you to take a powerful card like bayou and make it tone it down. You don't get it right away, you have to wait a little bit, which a lot of cards, they try and imitate really powerful old cards, but you have to wait. An example of this is Suspend with stuff like Ancestral Visions. But yeah, I really like this card. Next, we have Spark Burst. It's a 2-cost instant. It says Spark Burst deals 2 damage to target creature or player, or Spark Burst does 7 damage to target planeswalker. So it's a kill spell that, it's shock, but it costs 1 extra. But if you're able to target a planeswalker with it, it's going to deal 7 damage. And just for that, I don't know if you really want to put like this in your deck over a shock, but I could see someone putting this in their sideboard in a non-commander format, obviously, to try to deal with planeswalkers. So cool concept. It's shock, but 1 more and deals bonus things to planeswalkers. Next, we have Scrounge the Past. It's a 2-cost enchantment, black enchantment. If you would search your library, you may search your graveyard. You may instead search your graveyard. So, if you play something like Demonic Tutor, it says search your library for a card, put it into your hand, reveal it, put it into your hand. You can instead search your graveyard for a card, reveal it, put it into your hand. So, if you really need to, you can take your spell that was meant to go find your combo piece, but hey, it's not in my library, it's in my graveyard. Now you can search your graveyard. If you're in a deck that likes the combo lot and has very important combo pieces, this would be very, very cool. Overall, fun card that we really haven't seen anything similar to, which I enjoy. Then we have Hourglass of Dawn, which is a white and a black for an artifact, and it says at the beginning of your end step, draw a card, gain 3 life, and transform Hourglass of Dawn. Then we have Hourglass of Dusk, and it's an artifact that says at the beginning of your end step, discard a card, lose 3 life, and transform Hourglass of Dusk. So basically, it's supposed to show the trend, going through time, and it's flipping, and what's happening is you're gaining 3 life, drawing a card, losing 3 life, discarding a card. So it ends up balancing out, but you can gain a temporary advantage, or if you could flicker this somehow, you can constantly have the effect. So if you can find a way to abuse this, this can be a very powerful effect, and if you can't find a way to abuse it, it kind of balances out eventually. It just lets you filter through your deck a little bit faster and fluctuate on life. So, fun card. It being locked into Azurius is kind of lame for things like Commander, but still fun card. Then we have Cosmic Reef. It's a land, and it says tap, add colorless, and then pay colorless, tap, add 2 mana of any 1 color. Now, the thing that makes this different is that it requires specifically colorless, and that's why it's different than some other lands. You can't just use generic, and so because of that, it can add 2 mana of any 1 color, because you have to make specifically colorless, which is more difficult than making generic. So, yeah. Then we have Hall of Grandmasters. It's a 5-cost legendary enchantment with Convoke, and it says whenever a creature you control without Defender dies, return it to the battlefield under your control with a Defender counter on it. So this is basically Luminous Broodmoth, which says the same thing, but it itself is a creature and gives things flying counters. The only catch is that flying counters make your creatures better. Defender counters make your creatures worse. So I would say this is ultimately a more fair card, except for the fact that this can't be killed with a creature removal spell. So, yeah. that's it for this video. Those were just some really fun cards that I found on the Reddit r/custom magic. Let me know what you guys think of those cards in the comments down below. What would you change? What were your favorites? And if you guys have any custom cards you want me to look at or review, either put like what they do in the comments down below or send me a link in the comments down below, and I will check those out. I hope you guys have been enjoying all the custom MTG. I know I have. If you enjoyed, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.